Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Book Nook. We are back with another reading wrap up. Another month has passed. August felt like it flew by. I felt like I didn't read as much, even though I read every day. Like, it is weird. But here are the books that I read over the month of August. Like I said, it felt like I haven't pulled my stats yet because I'm still finishing up like the last two books. And today's the 30th when I'm recording this, but by the time you guys see this, it will be the first of the month. So I haven't pulled my actual stats, but once I do, I will just put like a picture of how many, the little thing that shows you what I read and how many. So keep that in mind. But for the most part, I'm done. I'm just reading a book that comes out in a few days, and I want to finish it up so I can have my review ready. So let's get into it. So the first book I read this month or in August, was With Cookies on Top by Bella J. I talked about this book and how excited I was to read it. This book is like 750 pages. But it took me about 5 days to finish it because I had to work. So I started it like a Friday, but I had to work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I was very slow at finishing it up. But it was good. It was one of those books that you just got to take your time with it. You can't rush it. You're enjoying it. It's not, you don't get bored when you're reading it. So I cannot sit here and be like, oh, it took forever to finish it. I just had to savor it. It's literally one of those books that you have to enjoy. It is a friends with benefits to lovers slash workplace romance. The FMC, her name is Yada. The MMC, his name is Nelly. They had a little thing a couple years ago. She hit some hard times and now she's back, needing like a fresh start. So he hires her as his like assistant. So now you have that little bit of tension, a little bit of, I want to be professional. I need this job. I need this fresh start. But of course, the attraction is there. And slowly they went back into this friends with benefits situation. Then they start hanging out, and now you got feelings involved. So it takes you on this just journey of their friendship to falling in love. And I enjoyed it. And after finishing that, she had like a novella that was about 100 and something pages, kind of like a year after like the first year of them officially being together and everything that happens in that year. So it's kind of like a little extra after you finish a book and you just feel like, oh, I missed them. It just gives you that little bit of extra. So if you're looking for a good friends to lover that is gonna make you smile, make you laugh, but also pull at your heart a little bit when they go through tough times. And like I said, Yada has been through some things. So you get to find out all the things that she's been through as well. So I enjoyed that. After I did all that, it was time to switch it up and listen to something fun while I don't remember if I went somewhere that day or I just listened to it while I was cleaning, but it's called If Only for the Summer. It follows the FMC and the MMC. They're both teachers. Both of them has friends in Miami. So it's like the female, she's close to the wife of the male's best friend. Does that make sense? So anyway, like the female got invited by her friend to spend the summer in Miami. The male got invited by his friend to spend the summer in Miami with his son. He's a single dad. I like to say single co-parenting because he's still cool with his the mom of his son. But anyway, they both decide to spend this summer at their friend's condo unknowingly, and they just force proximity, I guess you can say, and just see them have something over the summer that turned into something that you have to read it to see if they decide to continue after the summer or if it's just for the summer. So I enjoyed that. I think it was only just over 200 pages, so it was a quick listen and I had a good time. Then I dived into book two of the summer series by Monique. In July, I read Uncovering Love, and I fell in love with this series. It's a romantic suspense, so it gives you a little bit more than your typical romance because there's a little bit of drama and stuff going on that you're trying to figure out. So book 2 kind of follows that, where it's the other brother, the male from the first book. This book is his twin brother Blue. He's a detective, and he's working the detail of a famous like rapper. So he's on her detail and trying to protect her. There's people out together, and they just started spending a lot of time together, and you get to see their relationship. A lot of drama happened, a lot of plot twists. Okay, I was like, the person I thought was the bad guy, there was other bad guys. But I enjoyed that. Their relationship was kind of like insta connection, and it was a little different. But hey, in real life you have different love stories, so it is what it is. Next up, I listened to the Love Sister series by Christina C. Jones. Whenever I have to drive, whenever I have to clean, I'm always looking for something quick, fun to listen to. So I end up picking this series, and it gave me exactly what I wanted. It gives rom-com vibes. If you just want something that's going to make you laugh, still has a plot, still fun. And I listened to all 3 over like the next week. So every time I drove somewhere, clean, anything where I'm going to pop my headphones on, that's what I was listening to. So it gives rom-com. Book 1 had me laughing so hard. I was driving down the road just laughing. Book 2 was like a second chance romance. And then book 3 was like just 2 people live like a nomadic lifestyle. And they spent 2 days in Cuba that were just so unforgettable for both of them. And now they run into each other again. I don't remember if it was months later or years later, but they run into each other again. But I enjoyed it. It's a good time. Like after you read something heavy, you just want something quick, fun, light, fluffy, and that's what it gave. After that, I dive into Quasim finally. Finally, I am caught up with Quasim 1, 2, and 3. And I'm just glad that I didn't have to wait. I'm just glad that I was able to dive into each book and go when that plot twist hit or that cliffhanger hit at the end of the book. I was able to just click on the second book. When I finished the second book, I was like, now I see why y'all were crashing out. Now I see why people were just like waiting for book 3, because that cliffhanger and the end of book 2, I just came home, made me a nice little drink, and go sit outside and start book 3. So yeah, I'm sorry y'all went through that stress. But I'm caught up now, and I'm gonna be stressed when I read book 1 of Goon. I already know it, but I want to know what that feels like at least once. So yeah, now I'm part of that number. I enjoy this series probably even more than Capri. Not Capri the female character, but Capri the series, the season, from book 1 to 3.5. I just feel like this book had more, it tugged at me a little bit more. The emotions, the loss, the grief, the love story, the yearning, so much. It just had me just emotional the entire time, and I love that. So I enjoyed Quasim's season. Yeah, I love Quasim down. Now, after that, I read Overdue Feelings by A.Blossom. This is book 1 in like a series of back to school base like books. This is a white shoes romance. 3 best friends. They were friends from they were like 8th grade. Something happened that tore them apart. It's years later, and now that person returns to town. And the tension, the overdue feelings, the unfinished business of it all. I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't know it was going to be like, a little deep. Did get a little deep, but I enjoy it. So it adds another layer than just a white shoes romance. Last Saturday, I listened to Lilith by Alexandria House. I had a advanced listening copy of this audiobook. The book itself came out a year ago. It is a dark romance, kind of like a forced forced it's not kidnapping. He never kidnapped her. He just kind of like, picture this. You witness a unaliving, and the suspect, the unaliver, saw you looking at him. And he's like, now you belong to me. Yeah. Yeah. I was laughing because it was just how crazy he was. Like he literally not broke into her house because he used the key. And in the middle of the night, she's like, did you break into my house? And he's like, no, I used my key. And she's like, where did you get a key? And he's like, I had one made while you were passed out a couple days ago. That man was crazy. But he had his reasons. He had his reasons. And I enjoyed it. Again, this was short. It was like 200 and something pages. Only took me about 5 hours to listen to it. Must listen. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to listen to book 2, which is the other sister in the series. Next book I read was Smoke and Mirrors by Danielle Brooks. This is book 3 in her firefighter series. Through the Fire was the first firefighter romance that I read. Was that this year too? Yeah, that was this year. That was like February or March. I love that book down. So this is book 3, and it follows 2 people who have been side characters in book 1 and 2. It's kind of like a friends with benefits to lovers. The female, she's a single co-parent mom, and then the male, he's like the jokester of the group. No one takes him seriously, and they've been in this like friends with benefits situation. Feelings are getting involved, but the female, she's like, I don't know if I can trust you to really, and there's a slight age gap. So she's like, I don't know if I can trust you with my heart. And he's like, I can't. So I love the growth and the story of them falling in love. I enjoyed it. And then that's it. I'm currently reading Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. This is book 2 following the prequel to Honey and Spice. This is a UK based author and story. I'm enjoying it. It's a second chance romance, kind of like I'm at the point now in the book where they have to like work together. So it's kind of a little bit of forced proximity because they're working on this like project together. So we're gonna see how they deal with that. But the tension, the banter, I'm enjoying it. I'm laughing and smiling at both of them. Their little clapbacks at each other. I love it. So that will be pretty much my last book of the month. And then there's this novella that I was reading because I'm reading Sweet Heat on NetGalley. I'm using their reader to read it. So to not mess up my Kindle streak, I clicked on a novella last night called Kharma, and I'm enjoying it. It is like a arranged marriage situation, and that's what I'm gonna use to fill the gap between me reading Sweet Heat to finish out the last 2 days of the month. So that's it for that. Ooh, we finished that real fast. So since we did, I'm gonna talk about just give a rundown of the books that I'm excited about for September. Starting the month with Sweet Heat. It comes out on September 2nd. So that's a new release that I'm super excited about. And then on September 4th is when Always Will come out. It is book 2 in the, ooh, what's the name of the series? Where do I have that book? Ooh, not me dropping it. So this was my favorite Friends to Lovers book that I read back in, I forgot when this came out. I think it came out, ooh, this say made in the US, Las Vegas, March 5th, 2025. Does she live here? I don't think so. But yeah, so this is book 2, and she's coming out with book 3, which is Always Will. It is like a one night situation turned into a surprise pregnancy. So I'm excited to read it. I already have the arc in my Kindle, so I'm going to be reading that as soon as I finish up Sweet Heat between today and tomorrow. So tomorrow's the 31st. I'll finish Sweet Heat and dive right into Always Will. And that I will read from like the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd to have it ready to post on the 4th. On September 5th is when that firefighter romance called Smoke and Mirrors come out. So be ready for that. There's a I have a feeling that Jahquel J is gonna drop Goon in the next week or two, but I could be wrong because she's also dropping Cora's story, which is book 3 in the Caselli family series. That is scheduled on Amazon to come out September 24th. But I know she can change the drop dates. But either way, Jahquel J is going to drop a book and I'm going to be sat. I'm going to be sat reading it. So I'm excited for that. Whichever one she drops, I'm going to be reading it. And I think last but not least, the other book that I'm excited about is called something with paradise. It is called, ooh, what is it called? Right Side of Paradise by Shon. It is scheduled to come out September 22nd, I believe. This is another white choose romance, and I just love Miss Shon knows how to write a white choose romance. Okay, so I'm gonna be reading that whenever it drops. Also on my TBR is Only for Me by Casey Mills. I believe this book came out early August, if I'm not mistaken, and I just didn't get to it because I already had my TBR set. So I hope to get to that. I put on here that I want to read a Mel Dow book. I need to get into Mel Dow catalogs so bad. So that's on my list. I also want to read the books that I didn't get to this month, which was what is it called? Ooh, Colliding with Fate by A.E. Valdez. I did not get to that yet. The physical book that I said I was gonna read, didn't get to this yet. But I'm going on vacation in September, so I feel like this is a good book for me to also read on vacation. So I'm probably going to take it with me if I don't get to it by the date that I leave. And the last book I want to read to close out like the summer is And Then Life Was Beautiful. So this is like my last 2 summary books that I want to get to. So yeah, that's all the books that are on my TBR. I don't want to like overwhelm my TBR. I kind of want to leave it with some space in case people pop up and drop books. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm already thinking, yeah, September is going to be like my cleanup month, books that I need to finish. October, I want to focus on the fall books as well as some books that are in my Kindle that I got last year from the Black Readers Association event because they're coming back in November. So I want to kind of read some of those books before the next Bray event. This is where a bunch of authors give you access to some of their free books. And November, I'm already thinking of Novella November last night. And I wrote down like a whole list of novellas that I want to read in November. So that's where I'm at with my reading stuff. I was able to get the Danger Brother series when India Carter dropped them a couple days ago. So I'm excited for that. What else I ordered? I feel like I bought another book recently. I bought Demon's Dream. She brought back the original cover of Demon's Dream on its 3rd-year anniversary. So I jumped on that as well. So you guys will see that in my next bookish haul. But yeah, that's it for all my reading. That's it. I just had to stop record these videos and now I'm going to go back to reading so I can try to finish this arc. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you read in August, what you're reading in September. How are your reading goals, your stats? I'm on track to meet my goals, so I'm excited about that. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.